So last week I had my friend Michelle come over. She's a school teacher in LA, 20 years. And she went to USC, just a super, super smart lady. Just a really, really bright lady. I wanted her to come over and take a look at my course curriculum, everything that I'm putting in the program. And I wanted to get her opinion on it because I thought that she would kind of offer a different perspective. You know, sometimes when you get so focused and you're so tunnel vision in your career and what you're doing that maybe you miss certain things. So I brought her in, she looked at everything. And then at the end I asked her, so Michelle, what did you think? And then she took a moment, she kind of paused and then said, honestly, John, it felt like I was punched in the stomach. So then I'm kind of sitting there thinking, well, where is she coming from? And then before I could even get that out, she says, John, I've been a teacher for 20 years and I'm in the same financial position that I am today than I was a decade ago. And even 15 years ago. It's like every single week, every month, I'm just maintaining. Like I wake up at 6 a.m., I get to work at 7, I'm teaching until 3:30, I come home, I have about an hour to myself to make some food, and then I'm prepping lesson plans all night. On Saturday, I turn my phone off, and then Sunday I'm prepping the whole week. And then I said, well, Michelle, why don't you quit? And she said, I can't afford to quit. I simply just cannot afford to quit. If I do, I'll have to sell my house. I won't be able to afford insurance. Everything is just so expensive that I won't be able to do it. So I said, what about rental housing, like what I do? And the first thing out of her mouth was, John, I'm not rich, I'm a school teacher. And I said, you don't understand, Michelle. Like these smaller deals, they require little down payments. And if you kind of take a step back and realize that if what you're doing right now is maintaining, you're just trying to maintain your lifestyle. If you're making $5,000 or $5,500 a month, and of that, you really only need $3,500 to maintain, to cancel out that job, to do what you want to do and live life on your terms. It might be one deal or maybe 2 deals and you could quit. And then she started really thinking about that. And then we kind of went a little bit further. We started looking at deals and she realized that that was actually possible. The next thing out of her mouth was, what about the problems dealing with tenants, dealing with just the headaches of being a landlord? And I said, Michelle, how many hours a week do you work now? She thought about it. She said between 55 and 60. And I said, okay, so about 200 a month on the low end. And she said, yeah, that sounds about right. And I said, I work between 1 and 2 hours a month dealing with tenant issues. 1 to 2 hours a month. I was like, which position would you rather be in, honestly? Working 1 to 2 hours a month, building long-term generational wealth, or working 200 hours a month to maintain? I said, Michelle, really, really think about how the world works right now. Every single year, rents go up on average of 3%. Wages are pretty much flat, and the US dollar decreases by about 2%. So it just gets harder and harder and harder to save money. So if you kind of look at it this way, right? If you have enough money to buy the first property, you're letting that property borrow the down payment money, and then you're receiving residual monthly income every single month without ever touching your principal investment. And every month, the mortgage being paid down further and further and further. And she realized that, there is no other alternative.